In this video, we're going to talk about conjunctions within the SAT writing. There are two main types of conjunctions we need to worry about, and we'll start off with coordinating conjunctions because they're a little bit more relevant. So coordinating conjunctions join two independent sentences, and you can remember them with the acronym FANBOYS. There's only 7, and they are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So that acronym is going to help you remember the 7 that exist within the English language. So some notes, a clause beginning with one of these words is not a complete sentence. Now with subordinating conjunctions, a little bit different. They join an independent and dependent clause, and they include some words like because, before, after, etc. And subordinating conjunctions have some quirks as well. So they cannot stand alone. So if you have this sentence here, because tomatoes are colorful and full of flavor, that is not a complete sentence. You can't start a sentence with because and have a complete sentence right off the bat. Now, what you need to do is that if an independent clause comes after, then the whole sentence is complete. So you can start a sentence with because, before, after, or one of those subordinating conjunctions if you have a comma at the end of the first phrase and then have a complete sentence afterwards. So, of course, we can get a better understanding of these with practice. So we have the question below. Coffee houses exploded during... So we have the question below. Coffee houses exploded in popularity during the colonial era. They were protested by clergy and women. There were still over 2,000 of them in London in the 17th and 18th centuries. So we can take that into account. So let's look at our options. Technically, this is grammatically correct paragraph, but the flow is a little bit weird. They were protested by clergy and women is not really something that you would want to have by itself in a sentence. So we're going to look for some alternatives. In C, we have they were protested by clergy, semicolon, there were still. So it's the same thing, we're just putting a semicolon instead. Now that's sort of the same issue. Having they were protested by clergy and women, while it is technically an independent clause, we want to find something that might work a little bit better to combine these two sentences. So we have protested by clergy and women, there remained. Now this is wrong just because there's a comma after remained. That is going to be unnecessary because you would have remained, comma, over 2,000 of them in London. That doesn't make sense. When we're looking at B, we have, although they were protested by clergy and women, comma, they were still. Using the subordinating conjunction, although, this effectively turns the sentence into a dependent clause and attaches it to that independent clause at the end, which creates a sentence that flows a little bit better within the broader scope of the paragraph. So that's going to be the answer that best fits. We're going to choose B as our ultimate answer.